So to begin with sanding your floors, you're going to need 2 sanders. I recommend you get a drum sander and an edger. Now the drum sander is going to do the main part of the floor, and we're going to be using 36, 60 and 100 grit. Now you might need to use some grits in between there, but that's all I could get from the Home Depot, and I've had great results doing it with those grits there. Now, I'm not taking these floors down from a rough state. They were perfectly smooth beforehand, so I don't need to do too much material removal. Next thing, we do have our edger, and we've got the exact same grit. We've got the 36, we've got the 60, and we've got the 100 grit. And this is going to be used for going around the edges of the room, right into the corners where the drum sander can't get to. It's also going to go under the baseboard heaters. You do get an edger that doesn't have the baseboard heater portion on it where it goes underneath. So if you don't have any baseboard heaters, you can get that one. And because we do, I've got the one that's designed to go under the baseboards. So we're going to get this set up and ready to go. Now, which one you do first, it doesn't really matter. I've been doing the edging first, or I've been doing the drum sanding first. I'm a little bit tired this morning. If you've never used one of these edgers before, kicks your butt. Quite a lot of work. I just don't want to deal with it this morning. So I'm going to do the drum sander first, and it allows me to go around the edge and then fill in all the pieces that the drum sander couldn't get with the edger. You may also need an orbital sander as well, just to blend areas and get into pieces that you can't get. Now, and the corners, very tips of the corners, the edger doesn't get in there, so we'll need some hand sanding materials. If you've never used a drum sander before, the thought of using one might seem quite daunting, but we've not got this plugged in, so it's not running. How you want to use this, you want to start moving, and then you want to release this to drop the drum onto the ground. You want to sand, and when you come to the end of your run, before you stop, you pull this back. That means that you're not going to leave the drum spinning in one place. If you do leave it spinning in one place, you're going to get a groove in your floors, which you don't want, and it's going to be a real challenge to sand that out. So you don't want that. Going backwards, where it gets a little bit challenging, you have to do the same thing. So you have to start walking backwards, drop the sander, and then pull it back up before you stop. Now, if you've got walls behind you, it can get a little bit challenging on how to do that. So you want to split the room up into halves. So you do half one way, turn around and do half the other way. I've been doing 3/4 and 1/4, just depending how I feel in a room. But that's how you control this. We've got the on-off button up here. We've got a dust bag to put on here. Just make sure if you're using the dust bags, you empty them out frequently. About a third full is the rule of thumb, and I like to leave mine outside just because there is a potential that some of these stains and stuff could be flammable. Down here's where we put the sander pad on. So we just had 100 on here because we just finished upstairs, and then we're going to put 36 grit on to start with. Putting these on can be a little bit challenging, but I like to just get rid of any oscillation in it, make it as round as possible, slot it on, and then just turn it as I push it on. Make sure it doesn't get caught anywhere, and then we can just slide it the rest of the way. Every time before you start the machine up, make sure this is lined up. It does have a tendency to move around a little bit. Not too bad, but you just don't want to be using this where the sandpaper's hanging off one side or the other. For the edger, this thing is incredibly powerful. It doesn't look like it would be. We've got a dust bag on the back here. We've got 2 handles, and you need to hang on because this thing kicks you around. You've got on-off button here. And on the bottom, you can change over to your sanding pad. So we do need an Allen key. And if you get it from the Home Depot, it already comes with the Allen key. We're going to put our 36 grit sandpaper on. Make sure you get rid of that little bit in the middle. Turn it on, and then line this up. So it's lined up and nothing's hanging over. You can then tighten this up, hold it with your hand, and fully secure this. Now it's time to get the room set up. We do have our windows taped up, and that was from painting. We're just going to leave them like that. It prevents all the dust getting into the windows. It's going to be difficult to clean in there. And then we do have our outlets covered up too, and in here, and we're going to be doing it in the dining room as well. The edger does make a decent amount of dust. It does have the dust bag, but it still does create a lot of dust. And the drum sander does a really good job at getting a lot of it into the bag. But even then still, we are going to put on a protective mask to make sure that we don't inhale any of the dust that's floating around. We're also going to have earplugs in so that we don't damage our ears. Now, as I said before, our floors are really smooth and flat because whoever did these before did a really good job of sanding them, just didn't do a good job of applying the finish. We're going to go with the grain. Now, if your floors aren't even or smooth like we have here, you can go diagonally. You are going to have to go with the grain to then smooth all of that out. But I can go with the grain, so I'm going to take the drum sander with the grain. We're going to do this one pass with the 36 grit, which one pass or equals you go forward and back. We're going to move over between 30 and 50% overlap, getting really good results, so I really like that. We'll come along with the edger, and then we'll go to 60 grit, and then we'll go to 100 grit. And in the last process, I'll show you how to get a perfect finish on these floors, blend everything together. With the center of the floor sanded, it's time to get the edger out to take care of all this stuff around the edge. My best bit of advice for using one of these edgers is hang on and do your best to steer it. I like to get one knee down on the ground and have one foot up, which is comfortable for me. And what you're going to do is then move this back and forth, sanding the edge that you couldn't get to with the drum sander. Because of the shape of the drum sander, you can't get into the corners very well, so I had a little bit more to sand on this corner here, so it took a little bit longer than it normally would. Then I'm just going to work my way down this side here. Really easy coming down the side here when you're going with the grain, and just make sure to take my time. Now it's time to do a sandpaper change. We're going to go to 60 grit now, after we've finished with our 36 grit. If your floors are uneven after 36 grit, you could do a second pass again, which would be a forward and a backwards pass. You might have to do that multiple times with each grit. Now we're going to take the 60 grit and do the exact same thing, where we do one pass on each bit. So we go forward and we go back, and then we move over around about 30 to 50% and keep on repeating that until we've gone all the way across the room and done the entire room, including a little bit behind me that I can't get to while going in one direction. And remember, you must not stop with the drum spinning or you will create a groove. Now we're going to take the edger with 60 grit sandpaper. See my wife here, she's going to go along and edge the rest of this. And this is really good to make sure you keep on going through the grits correctly to make a nice smooth finish. And then we're going to move on to the 100 grit with the drum sander and the 100 grit with the edger, to make sure we get the same smooth finish at the walls as we did on the center of the room. I took a little bit extra care and time when using the 100 grit on the edger, just to make sure that we do get a really nice finish. There is going to be a halo mark around the edge no matter what. Then I took my multi-tool to get right into the corners. Doesn't matter too much, as we are going to have some trim around here that's going to cover this, but next to the fireplace here we're not going to have any trim, so I wanted to make sure it was as perfect as I could make it. And although we sanded with the same grit on the edge and with the buffer, you can see there's a little halo strip all the way around the edge. It's not too bad when you're going with the grain, but when I was going to cross the grain, you can really see this, especially here at that threshold. Over here, it looks really bad too, into this room. No, we're just focused on this living room here, but we did both together. So we need to fix that, and the best way that I have found to fix this is by using one of these square buffs. Now you could use an orbital sander as well. I think the square buff works a little bit better against the corners where the random orbital sander can't. And the best thing to do is match the grit on the square buff to what you were using for the edger, and the drum sander makes this job so much easier and leaves this finish that's just perfect. So we're going to do overlapping passes, 50% overlapping roughly, and then we're going to work on the edges, and I'll show you just how I do get these edges so it's much better than do right now. Camera doesn't really pick up. Right here, see the line along there, sort of 4 inches in from the edge, so we want to fix that. Using the orbital sander is the best way to blend two different sander types together. The edger is spinning and creating circle marks on the floor, whereas the drum sander is creating striations on the floor, and when these two meet, you get a defined line around the edge. So I just do my overlapping passes, and then when I get to the edges, I just move this left to right, and because this is a random orbit sander, it doesn't matter if you go left to right or diagonal, and then just work the edges if they need a little bit more work. And then you can see here my wife is doing the rest of the floor, doing the overlapping passes, making sure to get a nice smooth finish. Once you're finished sanding, just make sure you check the floor and you like how smooth it is, and then you're finished. All you need to do now is vacuum your floors, and you may need to go over your floors a couple of times with the vacuum. Then you'll need to get a lint-free cloth to get rid of any debris that's left behind before you refinish your floors with whatever product you're going to be using. Sanding these floors took a ton of work. We had a lot of prep beforehand to remove old wax before we even started on this video. Just can't believe how well they've turned out. All that hard work has really paid off. All we need to do now is apply some finish to the floors.